Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Figures of Action Reviews coming at you with another video. And today we're going to do it a little different. I know. You normally catch me talking about toys and action figures, but today we're going to do something different. We're not going to be talking about toys. We're not going to be talking about comics. Today we're going to be talking about video games. And one in particular that really caught my interest when initially I wasn't even really interested in this game at all. And that's Helldivers 2. And I can tell you that from the beginning, when one of my good friends was like, "Hey man, you gonna play Helldivers 2?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "What?" He was like, "Why not?" I was like, "Because it's not my kind of game." He was like, "Bro, you literally sat here and played both the Division 1 and the Division 2 back to back, and you played it while everyone else quit, and you were still playing it." And I'm like, "Yeah, so?" He was like, "What's the difference between this game and the Division 2?" I was like, "Well, let me help you out. First and foremost, this game seems like Dynasty Warriors with guns. It's just a continuous horde mode. Then on top of that, the division and the division 2 are looter shooters, which means you get loot while you fighting stuff in the game." I said, last time I checked, one of my other good friends who was talking to me, he was like explaining it to me. He was like, when out in the on the planets and you're doing the missions, he said you'll find different guns and stuff. Now, of course, this was like, I think this was like the beta or whatnot that he got a chance to play. He was like, well, when you find guns, you don't get to keep them. It's only for at that point in time, and if you drop it or when the mission ends, you don't get to keep the gun. And I was like, huh? I was like, oh no, yo, I live for the loot, man. I'm a loot whore. I'm a straight up loot whore. That's all I am. Yo, when it come to the looter shooters or games with loot, I'm already there. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. Give me the loot. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get at it. But I wasn't too thrilled about not being able to find loot or not being able to keep my spoils of war. So that kind of like got to me a bit, and I was like, no, I'm not playing that. It's like, come on, man, give it a chance. Come on, what you got to lose? Give it a try. And we had already put down COD for a minute because we would like normally just running through COD every night, and I had pretty much got bored of the Division 2 because it's only so much you can take when there's no new content, and it's just the content they bring is boring. So it was kind of like, you know what, done with that. So they finally managed to talk me into it. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was like, man, come on, man, just give it a go. And I was like, okay, all right, I'll do it. I'll try it. And I will tell you, when I got on it, I was surprised. I really was, because I thought it was going to be just like, I was going to have this generic time of where I'm just running through, shooting enemies. And at the time, it was just the bugs. And, it was like, I was like, man, this is going to be boring. I know I'm going to quit this. I know I'm not going to be playing long. And just so happens, like, honestly, I actually got into it. And I was pretty amazed with the gameplay. And I didn't mind the fact that I wasn't picking up loot. It was more of, actually getting into this role player, of you being part of this major faction that's fighting on another planet, and you're doing your part. I'm doing my part. A super Earth. I'm a super Earth soldier. I'm out here on these planets. I'm out here in the space. I'm out here on these space streets, baby. I'm out here on these space streets for the super Earth with my boys, being patriotic, fighting for the freedom. You know what I'm saying? Forced oppression. Give me that oil. Give me that OI7. You know what I'm saying? But slowly and surely, as I, was getting into the game, we started getting these patches and we started getting these updates. And, initially it was like, well, what's going on? And they started nerfing the damage on some of the weapons. And I'm like, why are they doing this? It was bad enough, like some of the weapons, like the arc thrower, could just basically jump, skip, hop, and fry you and everything else out there on the field. It's kind of like, hey man, when I got this arc thrower, you had to basically warn your teammates, like, hey, I got an arc thrower, like, whoa, 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 like, you go over there, you over there, you take that over there. You know what I'm saying? Don't be shooting that around everybody else. Excuse me. Ugh. Had one come up. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be here and just firing off, electric rounds and arcing all over the place. Next thing you know, you up here frying your own teammates. Because I done seen it, boy. I done seen some people run out there and forget when their teammates got an arc thrower and he just launched that bad boy and it zapped like 5 bugs, and then all of a sudden it touch him like hop, skip to my loop, pop, and it was like, ooh. Like that boy got fricassee. Like I had made it. Matter of fact, like this early in the game when the arc thrower was out here just like frying people left and right, I made it my point to where the armor set that basically made you take less damage, so I could get zapped and it'd be like I had folks be like, my bad, bro. Hey, it's all right. I got on the armor. I'm protected. I got on protection. So you can hit me about 5 times and I won't die. But after that, you know what I'm saying, they started hitting the other weapons. Like they started nerfing the shotguns, and I was like, whoa, I ain't even got that open yet. Now it did take me a little time to level, but hey, I did get up there. I got my ship leveled out. I got all the stratagems. So, you know what I'm saying? Eventually I got there. Now it took me a little while. And I'm not gonna say it took me a long time, because I was playing like every day after work, you know what I'm saying? After the kids go to bed and they say they good nights and, story time and all that. Hey, 8:30, 9 o'clock, I was up here on the game with my boys. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking out. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 hours, 3-4 hours. Sometimes just, and especially on like the weekend nights, man, if I'm not out, you know what I'm saying? Me and my wife, we not out having some fun or something like that, or I'm not out kicking with my boys, man, I could be up here from like 9, 10 o'clock to like 1, 2, 3 in the morning. So, you know what I'm saying? I was actually having fun. And then the devs had to come in and stick their little meddling finger into the game and go, you know what? You guys are having too much fun. You're having too much fun. And so we need to stop that. Or, they need to slow down the progression of the game, because that's actually what they're doing. I haven't heard people talk about it, but honestly, and I'm going to be open with you on my opinion, because I've seen this done too many times with different games, like Helldivers, because the Division 2 did it, and it's the same program, right? And you'll have it where players are starting to they'll be running through missions, they'll be getting different requirements done, they're actually getting missions accomplished, and then they'll be getting things done at a very quick pace. I don't know if you remember that there was actually like a major order, right? And it was like we had to conquer a couple of planets in a row, and we had to do it before the week was out. And the amount of people that was online, and people can scream meta this, meta that, I don't care. The point of leveling is to get stronger, and as you get stronger, or as you increase in level, games that offer you weapons to be effective in battle, isn't the point of leveling and increasing your level is to be able to acquire and access weapons that are stronger and more effective, to make you more effective in battle? Isn't that the point? Isn't that the point of leveling? Because what's the point of leveling if you're going to be playing with weapons that perform just as well as you were when you were low level? That's boring, and it's no incentive for you to level. Now, different people can say, man, it's all about the grind, it's all about the hustle. Yo, you take your try hard self over there. If you want to play a try hard game like that on the highest difficulty, and you live off of that, you live for, playing at these higher difficulties, so be it. Ain't nobody knocking your game. You do that. But for the rest of us and everyone else who want to play a game to where they feel like they're actually leveling up and have an incentive to level up, like, I'm trying to get a hold of that gun. I'm trying to get a hold of that BMG. You know what I'm saying? For those who know what, what BMG stand for. If you play Duke Nukem and the rest of the games like Serious Sam, you know what BMG stand for. So I'm trying to get a hold of the BMG. I'm trying to hold that, and I'm trying to out here and just spray the whole mob. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go out here and stick it to these bots, because the bots ain't holding back. And that's crazy that the devs would actually come in, nerf weapons, and then make you less effective toward enemies. But at the same time, they're not nerfing enemies. They buff enemies, nerf you and your equipment, and you, like, go ahead, keep playing. Diablo 4 did that. And they came in and, you know what I'm saying, they were like, oh, players are getting through these missions and they're getting to the end game quicker than we had planned for them to get to. We planned for these guys to hit end game in such a matter of time that they had basically estimated, and players were outdoing that and are outpacing their estimates. And it's like, oh wow, these guys are actually getting this stuff done. They're getting to the end game quick. Well, what should we do? Make more content? No. They don't want that. No. Let's not plan for more content. Well, what else can we do? I know. Let's buff the enemies, nerf the players, and slow down the progression of the game. Now, for anybody else who can say, you don't know what you're talking about. Man, I've been playing games for a long time. And let me tell you what's logical. I want you to really think about this, right? If you want to keep people playing the game for as long as you want them to play longer, and you want them to play longer on the already established content without you worrying, you as a developer don't have to worry about rapidly trying to keep up with the progression of the player. What do you think the likely scenario would be to do? Would you A, try to rapidly create something just to keep them busy, or B, would you slow down the player's ability to progress through the game, and it thus takes them longer to achieve or to reach a certain point in the game than it would if they weren't nerfed? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I take away your ability to blaze through a map, and now I slow you down, so if I increase the number of enemies, I increase their health pool, I increase the amount of damage they do, and I decrease your magazine, I decrease the damage on the weapon. Now you have more enemies to take out, and you're less effective in doing so. It's going to take you more time to clear an area than it would before you got nerfed, right? Right? So if you are going through a map and you were using like the incendiary shotgun, you was burning and like spamming and spazzing and burning your way through the map, just lolly, just boom, 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 boom. You just pushing it in and knocking them down. And now all of a sudden you hitting them, and it's like you throwing matchsticks at them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you setting stuff on fire, but it ain't really doing no damage. Honestly, it's like they wanted you to be weak so that it took you longer to get stuff accomplished. And so by slowing down the players, you slow down their progression, and thus gives you as a developer more time to think about what to bring out. What content could you create in that time frame? And I know a lot of people are like, you just don't understand the game. Well, I understand player progression. I know that. I played enough MMOs to understand that if I'm working with ineffective equipment, it's going to take me longer to get to the end game than it would if I was working with powerful equipment. If I could blaze through enemies, then it's going to take me less time to get to where I want to be than it would if I was working with equipment that was on, lower performance, that didn't do a lot of damage, and it took me, 30 minutes to get through a map. Hey, it's sometimes, man, we wouldn't even complete missions after those updates, especially after they start nerfing stuff. Matter of fact, the ARs in general were horrible. The ARs plain out sucked. Like, you could just rock the Liberator, and yeah, you get the sickle. The sickle was cool because if you knew how to run it right, you really didn't have to reload. I mean, your reloads were like really, really low. But for the rest of those guns, they were trash. They were trash, except now for when it came to the shotguns, because the breaker stayed straight because it was a spray and pray, And then they call themselves buffing fire damage, but then they turned around and nerfed fire damage, and then the arc thrower got nerfed, and it was good. But one thing they did do was they nerfed the railgun to the ground. They basically made it like a greenhouse pea shooter. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, less carbon emissions. It's good for the climate. Bad for your health because you ain't killing nothing. Now you got some guys out here like, oh, it don't take me no time. I just charge up and blast away. Okay, yeah, sure, that's good for you. But for everyone else, the devs screwed us. And so I, lost interest in the game because it became to where it was just like a struggle fest. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind struggling through a game as long as I'm like getting to some equipment. Is it if there's a point to where it's like this struggle is gonna mean something in the long term, it means that, after a while of struggling, I'm gonna end up getting to some gear that's gonna make me effective. I'm gonna come in. I like to be able to one-shot certain things, not all things. I don't want to be able to one-shot a Bow Titan, but give me a weapon where I can at least hit them once or twice, 2 times or 3 times, and have it done. Allow me to get a weapon to where, it doesn't take me forever in the day to charge up and blow a charger away, or, these small little trivial bugs that's running up on me, all these little cannon fodder enemies, they shouldn't be coming up on me and just knocking me out and stomping me down and kicking me like I'm getting stomped into a gang initiation. Give me a weapon where I can just spray them all down. And instead of nerfing the players, if you're gonna say, well, they're progressing too fast or whatever, I mean, hey, why don't you just think up some new content versus trying to slow the progression of the game down? And like I said, this is my opinion because it makes logical sense for me that this is what they would do if they were pressed to like have to try to make new content or, slow down the progression of the game so they wouldn't have to make new content as fast. But you guys can let me know what you think in the comments. And if you played the game, tell me your experience of the game. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Helldivers to me was a game that, it allowed people to jump in and get into this whole, role play of being this super patriotic person, ignorant of what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And it was fun for a while. It was fun while it lasted. But the devs, they shut the lights out on that, and that's for me. But like I said, you guys tell me what your thoughts are. Let me know what you think about it. This is Figures of Action Reviews, and I'm signing out. Peace.